As you guys already know, top of the month as always. Welcome to the Freedom Cage podcast, where we lock into a free state of mind each and every pay week on all DSP, of course. And to my right, I got my main guy, my ace, my left, my right as we. Shawn, better known as the singing in all your socials.
You know.
And me, Kenny, also known as King Catholic on all these socials. But today, man,
TV cruising. Like you got the YouTube TV, but do you still channel surf?
Nah,
right? It's an old art. It's an old art. Oh man, I got caught up. I was going through the news channels, and for some reason, I have News Nation. It's like a block of news channels you could go through.
I'm so sorry. I thought you said Nudist Nation. I was about to be like,
he's about to say, "Oh, this just got red." Oh no, he said he's going all out. News Nation, News Nation.
I was like, this ain't that type of sensitive father.
He said, "Bruh, you taking it to a place." You look like you hiding baby oil, brother. You need to relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, but I'm scrolling through it and then stopped on News Nation for a second, and I'm like, I'm squinting my eyes. I'm like, yo, babe, is that Ray J? She's looking. What is this? And she's like, I think that is Ray J. We're like, why is Ray J on News Nation? And as I'm turning up the volume, because it was on low volume, I turned it up. He's talking about the Diddy shit. I'm like, this is even more confusing. Like Diddy is coming out your mouth on News Nation, and you Ray J in the suit. This is just all wrong. I'm just like, I gotta keep. So I don't serve channels no more. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, man. So it's interesting that you bring up channel surfing because I was thinking about back in the days there were specific channels where you had shows that you were dying to watch, man. Like I remember they used to all be back to back. You know what I mean? It would be Family Matters or Friends, you know what I mean? Like, and then everything would just be back to back because you knew, like, after a certain show, it was time to go to bed. Like, once Cheers hit, it was like, fuck.
11 o'clock? Damn. I can't, you know what I mean? Where everybody knows your name. Say, all right, y'all. To be like, damn.
Yeah,
oh, man. Word up. Yeah, TGIF had it on Smash. Like, that 8 to, 9:30 window. I think they had 3 half-hour shows. Maybe it might have been a fourth one at 9:30, but I don't recall it. It wasn't good enough to stick around too long. But they had a 2-hour block for Fridays and shit. Even right after school, that 4 to 6 block right before Ricky Lake probably popped on when we was kids.
Yeah,
they had Animaniacs, Power Rangers. They had a little run too right after school.
Big facts. Remember Little Frog on UP? What was it? 11?
Was it cartoon? Not Cartoon Network. Might have been.
Nah, not Cartoon Network. The Little Frog. I forgot what channel he was
on. The WB Frog.
There you go. Didn't
he switch stations to UPN?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
for the life of me, I was like, how did he get a trade?
Man. Yeah, that's real when an animated character get like, I'm taking my talents to somewhere else. So quick random question. If there was a song you had to sing in karaoke to save the world, what song would you sing?
I could be rap or singing.
Any song.
I think More Money, More Problems. I might know every verse by heart, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know Mace. Shit, Puffy ad-libs. I kind of burned that to the ground when it came out. That's a fact. What's your, you have a go-to song or a song that you just know every word to?
Oddly enough, Kicking the Door.
Kicking the Door. Yeah.
I know that's an odd song to rap to save the world.
Yo, man. I'm kicking in the door.
you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Y'all wanna live.
Well, yeah. It's funny we both had Biggie related songs if the world depended on it. Brooklyn. But let me think. If there was an R&B song or a song you had to sing to save the world, are we cooked as a society? What are we doing?
Pretty Wings.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Hey, we're not judging our vocal ability. It's just the fact you can do it. So yeah, we good. We good.
That's it.
We good. Okay. I might cheat. I might cheat and pick a Lauryn Hill joint like Zion or something like that. I think I know all those words because it's a slow song, so it's not a lot of words. But I think I do know the words because they're far and few. I think I could pull that out.
Got it. See, reggae would be the easiest because 3 Little Birds. It's like 6 lines. if
Dog.
that, and then just
That
in
was-
repeat, like,
Dog, if there was a reggae song, they put the mic to me, pause, like, yo, what you got? I'm like, yeah, well, we signed up for heaven, because a lot of us say mega. I might have. I'm gonna try. What is it? I'm gonna try Freaks by Lil Vicious as far as I could, but right after that second hook kick, man,
that Dougie Fresh part.
man, I'm gonna be like, yeah, where we sign up? Where them gates at? Where them big pearlies? Like, you know what I'm saying? I said, nah. Yeah, reggae, it's a
Dougie
wrap.
Fresh remembers his part.
Yeah. Just the beatbox part. That's it. Maybe.
That's funny. I would be pissed if it had to be a Busta Rhymes song, because I got a feeling they're gonna pick one of them joints that he probably the one he did with Chris Brown. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, nah, son, we're done. We're done.
So give me slow. Can I get slow Busta? Can I get your hands on my eyes? Can see Busta, please? I don't want old school Busta. He was way too fast, and I don't want Pastor Cavassier Busta neither. I want that middle Busta.
yeah. Give me Busta with like a Janet Jackson feature. I could fuck with that. Or the one with Mariah Carey.
What was that one? That one Busta song we was trying to remember. We had to tape that.
Fire.
We kept rewinding. Was it Fire?
Fire.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too fast. It was too much.
Bruh.
It was too
Let
much.
me tell y'all something. So,
Busta had to run.
You know what I mean? We're gonna go back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all may remember at one point there was something called a tape deck, right? And when your favorite songs would play on the radio, you would record them, or you know what I'm saying, you would buy records. They were and tapes at this time. So we get this Busta Rhymes record, and we are like determined to write out the lyrics. This is before now that y'all spoiled. Y'all could go on YouTube or go to your local karaoke spot and get all the lyrics. This was us trying to write this shit down and have it so we could actually sing the lyrics on point.
Right.
And it was so much start, stop. Rewind. Start, stop.
I said, what'd he say? What'd he say? So run it back, rewind. The gunshot mean rewind. Like it was a good time. It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? That's why, as far as favorite rappers, Nas is my 1B. It was written. Came with a whole pamphlet. I was able to read with the boy. I was like, this is what's going on in Queens. I was like, this is crazy. This was crazy.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, man. But yeah, all right. Quick little pit stop there down memory lane. Have you so did you ever have multiple locations with your company?
Yeah, we got a few offices. Got one in Manhattan, one in Jersey, unfortunately, and over here in the island.
Nice. Do you have like a main one that you frequent that you consider your home base?
Absolutely. The one close to the crib.
Makes sense.
Thank God.
Makes sense. You ever went to one of these other locations and the minute you walked in, it just felt like they spent a little more money here than at yours?
It's when you realize, I'm the stepchild. That's what hurt. That shit hurt. So, y'all got your own fridge? That's crazy. Like it's little things that kind of let you know, like, oh, I'm not really priority in my location. Yeah. Interesting. You had a experience today, unfortunately.
I sure did. did.
No.
So when they put the address on the meeting, it was like, I've never heard of this address before. I know the street, and I'm trying to recollect what was on that street, and I'm like, I know that's where the ambulance comes in, but I've never seen a building there. Like, this is a weird way to have us come in for a meeting, right? We got suits on. So we're just walking, and we're like, all right, just walking. We get on the block, and I'm like, you can see the tape still on the door. Like, this place just really is like people are coming in. And to me, right? It probably been there for months, but to me, this shit is still fresh. You can't even get in the spot without showing your ID. Like, it's not like a scan thing and then the door's open. Nah, you put your ID to the door and the security guard come and let your ass in. So I'm like, okay, this is already a lot more official than what the fuck we got going on, right? So now we get all the way up to where the conference room is at, and this shit is like official. The chairs are better. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything just looks like
the paint. You smell the paint job and all that.
Yeah, everything just looks like it's state of the art. And we just sitting there like, at one point we thought we had the best location with all the upgrades. We was like, nah, this is the place. So now, as soon as I go in the office tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, how do I book a room
At the
this
such and such.
location?
I'm out. I gotta upgrade my 9 to 5 little spot. All
Bruh.
right.
Yeah.
Is that place by any chance closer to the house or further?
Further.
Like,
Yeah.
due to the niceness, is the extra distance not worth it?
I mean, it depends on what meeting we're having, right? So if it's just like a couple of us shooting and shit, it's definitely not worth it to go over there.
No.
But if we're like
but
if we're like hosting, a client or hosting, somebody like outside the state of the country, that's where you take them. You know what I mean? To have a conversation. You know what I mean? So I put that in my notes section, like places to book meetings. Like I'm telling you, and it's so crazy because in that moment I was like, I'm an old ass nigga. Because I remember whenever my father used to think of something, he used to be like, write that shit down.
I pull out the phone quick to go to my notes. Like, like I said, new restaurant on 5th. Tell the lady, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, we write down everything now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Matter of fact, I know my wife is watching. Remind me to talk to you about this new restaurant I heard about. Gotta go there, man. Shit crazy.
So, nigga, I want to know too. Text me.
I got you. I got you.
But
we only tell the people about it after we've been there.
We went. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Parking a little crazy. But once you get a spot, you're good. Like as far as adulting, I had a revelation today, unfortunately, while getting gas. Not that I'm trying to trick myself that I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Kids, job, you know what I'm saying, 401k, all the adult.
Taking your taxes, all that shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? All the features of an adult, you know what I'm saying? Standing there pumping gas. A pretty lady turns into the thing. She's kind of leaning to the right on the turn, and I kind of see it from a distance. But I got Jen in the car. We're not here. You're not sensitive, father. You know what I'm saying? Right? So she's pulling out. Right? It was just a quick, oh, she's pretty. And she straightened up the wheel, and her face came back. Shawn, her left eye didn't come with her. Like it was still looking. It was still looking in the direction of the turn. And at that very moment, I said, "I'm not an adult. I can't handle this." I just put my head down, and I'm just like, I'm not giggling. I'm not showing no teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I was like just truly looking like, oh, she's pretty. Yeah. The guy's like, oh man. Oh man, the eye didn't. She got like she sneak biggied me. I wasn't ready, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I say, you know what? All the adult shit you doing, if you can't keep a straight face, if somebody run up on you with an eye that's going like south and looking at you at the same time, you're not there yet. And I noticed I'm not there yet. It's just a quick revelation, man. I'm sorry. Y'all. I wish I was more of an adult, but I'm not there yet.
No, I hear you. Some situations, they catch us in a place when we're not ready. But I think you handled it the best way you could, bro. You could have been like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could have went about it really different.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Do you have hey, you're an adult. I can see you being an adult. Do you have moments where you're like, damn, maybe I'm not there yet? Although I write everything down, I'm not there yet.
So it was a similar situation, right? A friend of mine had told me about this person, and they had like an eye that rolls, right? And I'm like, I've never seen it in my life, so I'm like, all right, whatever. And this was like months ago, so it just so happened we all happened to be at the same venue one time, and we're having a full-on conversation, Kenny, eye contact, everything. We here. All of a sudden, to me, it looked like she was looking up at the TVs. There was TVs in the venue. And I was like, that's kind of rude that, we're here talking to each other with eye contact. And she's just looking up at the TV talking to me. And she never came back down.
Damn.
So in that moment, though, it clicked before I said, yo, you good? Like, what's going on the TV? I remembered that there was an eye roll situation. So similar to you, you know what I'm saying? I finagled the bagel, didn't really react to it. But in the moment, I was close. I was very close. And I was completely like, what the hell is happening? This is so rude. But that was one moment where I was like, adulting is stupid. Like, because 19-year-old me would have just been like, it would have been bad.
bitch looking at God at me at the same time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It would have been terrible. Like, my dumb ass would have been, I'd been trying to go on my tippy toes, like, ma'am, I'm down here. Ma'am. Ma'am, I'm down. Yeah. I still laugh if like a kid is falling and shit if he's running full speed. As long as he's not hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No blood. You know what I'm saying? just quick little wham. Yeah, I'm gonna giggle out of that. Terrible. I gotta grow up.
It'll forever be funny to me when kids fall, but they be holding the shit in their hand. Like it'll be candy or ice cream. They will fall flat on their face, but they will not let that candy fall out of their hand because they already know they're about to get their ass whooped. The last thing they want is to lose the treat at the same time. So
you've never seen an alcoholic drop a drink ever.
Nope.
It's so weird. He said, yeah, he fell to the floor, but the drink and ice was intact.
Bro.
Intact.
So listen, I'm finding out lately that, you know what I'm saying, I can't really get too comfortable when it comes to certain situations because there'll be times where I feel like I could just say what I want, but then there's times where I know I have to say something the right way. And then there's times where I shouldn't say anything at all. And I think I'm in one of those areas right now where I'm just, you know, like with a Draco right now with my words. And I'm just like, you know what? It's probably time to start fine tuning. You know what I mean? How these words are coming out. You know what I mean? Just in case there's some misinterpretation about the way I'm going about things. And I feel like that can apply, you know, both professionally and personally. Now, sometimes you get a little too comfortable. You know what I mean? Like you might just got a new girlfriend and you're like, you know, calling her the B word and she like, excuse the hell out of me. When did we start doing that? Like,
was a part of
that. Yeah. So, I'm in that moment right now where I'm just checking myself to not feel too comfortable with shit.
It's a good one. Like my phone has this little if you do type anything over like 10 characters, they go, hey, do you want AI to kind of regenerate your sentence? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's like, you know, make it professional, make it friendly, make it demeaning. And they had a couple like emotions, like just kind of rephrasing my words. I'm like, oh God, that's not me. That's not me. I don't mean this. That's not, none of this is me.
I feel you. Oh God. All right, man. I'm gonna head over into some quick questions before we get more into our show. This first one, y'all, what happens when there is an imbalance of support in the friend group? And I'll give you a perfect example. You may start selling hats, right? You know what I mean? And at first, your friend group is supporting you. They may, you know, repost or, you know, share your card, whatever way that you're marketing your brand, right? But then another friend within the same group probably starts a full-on clothing line. And, you know, they got everything from shirts, hats, shorts, you know what I mean? They're really going the extra mile. Now, all of a sudden, the friend group turns it into a mission to make sure that this friend's stuff gets super support. Like, y'all, we all need to come together, make sure that, you know, we put this on the map, make sure that, you know, we all should be wearing the brand. Conversations that never happened when you started your hat line are starting to happen. My question to you, Kenny, and to everybody listening right now, what is your first response when this is happening?
God, I hate to be the flip-floppy guy. It's all about the presentation and the package, man. It sucks. If the hat friend went hard, I'm talking like the whole spiel, website up, all kinds of colorways, flavors, fonts. He did his thing. I mean, little commercials and all that. It's like we all should support as a unit. But if the other friend just kind of like, not Trump his idea, but swipe everything, do everything even grander. Like everything's just bigger than life. It feels like it's like, dog, you gonna step on my toes in the same group chat? Like you're not. You said like you're not even gonna let me make the hats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know I'm good at hats. You didn't want to talk to me about it? Like nothing? Like, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? I think you need a whole new group chat for your little support. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think you should go. And hey, no disrespect. I know you might have put extra money into your shit, but hey, I was first, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, respect my firstness. Like nobody wants to be second place. But we don't support second place in this group. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
clear now.
you know what I mean? But now, oh man, but shit, now shit. If the support shifts within the group, do you take a back seat to your hat to the hat endeavor if you're the hat guy?
I would hope not. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would hope
keep it going.
if you're serious about your passion, you should stick to it. But I've always wondered about that situation because it is very, very possible for two people within the same friend group to have the same passion. And to your point, right? Somehow, some way, somebody's always the first one to kick things off. And all of a sudden, when that first person kicks it off, it's like all of a sudden, it's like eureka within the group. Everybody all of a sudden want to get their shit together.
Yeah. I mean, like Eureka's is trash. I mean, so yeah, don't be Eureka off my light bulb, my nigga. Like,
nigga ran a cord from the house.
It's like, go find your own Eureka, my guy. Like, don't be getting me bright ideas because I sparked something in you, nigga. I'm here to motivate, not be your motivation, nigga. Like, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. That's funny. Man. I'm not mad at that. Absolutely. But yeah, but shit, I might start pressing friends too. It's like, your family, I don't see my hats.
Dude,
we gotta talk like it's a unit now.
What has always puzzled me is how, if you got such a deep network of friends, if you all just really focused on supporting each other, it would change everybody's life. It really would. Like, granted, outside of like the essential necessities, right? It's like, bro, I know you're working on this like clothing line, but you know, every time I wear your shirt, it just rips. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, if you see someone steadily building something, you should be able to support them as much as possible. Like you see right now, if you see me or Kenny, more than likely we got on stuff that our friends are making or our own stuff. Like, you know, a lot of that is getting older and saying, fuck these brands. And a lot of it is really just understanding the business of how we can just keep everything within our network. We see a lot of other cultures do it. For some reason, we haven't figured it out. And I do my best to walk the walk. So I really just stress to those friend groups. If you got a friend group, all of y'all just really thriving and bouncing ideas, or y'all got shit flowing, is something as easy as if one got a clothing line, you only wear that clothing line. If one got a catering company, shit, everything that you do, if you can, the food come from that catering company, man. Because I'm telling you, everybody that got it like that, that's what the fuck they doing. Until their person makes it so big, they too busy to do it for them. Now they look for the next person that they can help out. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, y'all, but it's really that simple. It really is.
It is. Not the whole crabs in the barrel mentality, but it's just always like, you know, everybody's busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not like you can't be that busy all the time, but some people are, unfortunately, so we'll see. We shall see.
Everybody busy till the price go up. I'll tell you that much. Everybody busy till the price go up.
Gotta love it, man. It's capitalist world, man. We hate it and can't wait to be on the good side of it too.
You know,
it's crazy. Switching gears, I got a relationship question for you.
All right.
Are there different ramifications in a relationship when you're caught cheating up versus caught cheating down?
That's a good one, bro. So
not talking from experience, just generally talking. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Everything is figurative.
Yeah.
So ramifications, I don't think they should be. You know what I mean? I really don't think they should be. Like, and I swear I would cry my eyes out, right? But if in a situation I'm dating someone and they level up to somebody where I'm like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks. My heart still hurts because I thought it was me and you like forever. But, you know, but now it's like, shit. You know what I mean? Like, if the person that you've been idolizing for so long pulls up and says, get in the car, we go in the Bali. You're not looking at your significant other like, it was real.
Nigga got that comic. He was waiting for that ride his whole life. You seen him?
It's like, I ain't never seen the inside of a Maybach.
He said, "This is simple." Oh God. Yeah, that's funny, man.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like if like if God, I don't even want to knock on wood, but if Halle Berry came through and shit went great, like I'm coming back home, but baby, that was Halle Berry. Do we understand this? Is that okay? Like, is it like, is there no flexibility anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought we bent, not breaking out here. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, but but if it's a step down, it's like, nah, we can't do this anymore because what you're doing is not what we're doing. So you know what I mean. But all right,
Yeah.
all right. I got some questions in the chat. Lynn said, "What does that mean, up and down?" Better than the other. That's all.
Yeah.
Whatever score your current partner is, if they're high 8s, you come through with a low 9, it's an up. Like, you know what I mean? That's, you know what I mean? If your partner's high 8s and you come through with a low 8,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a little low. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it all depends on I guess your current partner's reach and where the next person is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a real question, y'all. That's a real question. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because on the flip side of this, right? Say they walk in and it's like that? Like that? Like, that's what you like?
I can't even associate. I can't even associate with you. If this is your spare time. It's your spare time. I can't even associate with this situation. But here's the kicker, right? I'm ready to throw the whole wrench in this bitch. They level up, like big level up.
Yeah.
But hey, man, understanding what they did was a mistake, and they're ready to come back, make this a happy home, right? Are you okay knowing that on the other side of that door is just a way better life than you? and now you know they settling because it's you.
Nah, man, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I don't care where they are on the chart. It's just the principles.
Because what if it's somebody that we see on a regular basis, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even gonna say any names because I don't want to go get into any trouble with anything. But what if it's somebody that's constantly on social media or constantly on the TV, constantly on the radio,
in your face
every time? What if we're having an intimate moment and said person pops up? Now it's awkward because now he was jizzing on your face. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, you saw, you know what I mean? You don't want that. You don't want that.
Your mind gonna go in crazy places. Nah, bro. You so much as put on a Halle Berry movie. She like, oh, you thinking about her? Huh? Is that it? You want to go back?
He said, Swordfish is my favorite movie, and that's that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear that.
For real, son.
Nobody want to hear that.
Oh man, you know I love this part of the show, bro. I'm not a doctor. I just play one here on FCP, y'all. Medicare open enrollment officially started October 15th. It is through December 7th. This is usually the time frame every year. But why is it more important this year? It's because a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans are changing their plan offerings due to the way that the government is looking at reimbursement for a lot of these services. It's been critiqued a lot throughout this year about some of the practices that are going on in these payers, and it's really just getting a full overhaul. So if you have anyone or you yourself are now looking for a new Medicare Advantage plan, the number one thing you want to do is make sure that they offer these services that you need the most, right? That's the most important thing. Second, the premiums. You want to make sure that you study the costs that you're going to have, because as you begin next year, you have that deductible that you start with that you have to make sure that you understand that before you go into that new coverage. The next thing is make sure they participate with your favorite provider. All right. And the reason why I know a lot of people say, well, why won't I check with my provider before the offerings? They could participate with your provider, but if they don't offer the services that you need and the coverage you need, then what's the point of going with them, right? So to me, that's my personal way that I help my mom throughout that process, or anybody that asks me about it. So I just offering that to you. Make sure you pay attention to it. One of the biggest payers that I know of, Cigna, is actually going to be selling their Medicare business next year between Q1 and Q2. So if you got Cigna and you love your provider, you might want to check with him and make sure he's still going to participate with that next year. So just spreading some information while I got y'all here.
Appreciate it. Somebody gonna need it, as always.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, my brother, are we ready?
It's time.
It's time, man. It's
Bro.
time. Today, we wanted to get into a particular subject we're calling sins of the father. And this topic is an in-depth discussion we're going to have about not passing on our bad deeds or traits to our kids, but also taking some time to examine maybe some of the bad deeds and traits that may have been passed on to us. And just thinking about this topic, Kenny, I always like to start with the NIH, National Institute of Health, because there's a lot of research they do as far as studies that involve examining the parent-child relationship, those parental behaviors, attitudes, etc., and how this can impact the child's cognitive development. Now, from what I see, it can go both ways, where there are studies that show the direct connection between the parents and their behaviors or even just their mannerisms and how that can translate to the kid. And for instance, my mom, in a lot of times when things got a little too tough in conversations, she would automatically shut down, not want to talk about it. I inherited that like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like those tough conversations when I was young and growing up, that really wasn't my strong suit. And then there are studies where you can flip the theory on its head, and there really just is no direct connection between some of those parents' behaviors or their traits into the kids, which is the real loving and nurturing way that I go about it with my son. That really wasn't there for me as a kid. Now, as we start to look at this, of course, first we're going to look inward, right? So if you could think about maybe one or two like bad traits that you feel like you have that you wouldn't want to pass on to your kids, what's the first one you would start with?
Lack of consistency. I need to teach them that, granted, tomorrow is coming, but don't wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it done today if you could. You know what I mean? I'm very, unfortunately, that's like my motto. It's like, yeah, we'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? But it's, as you get older, you understand, like, hey, take care of it, nip it in the butt, sooner the better. Don't be ready so you don't have to get ready, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I'm very more so, it's time to get ready. You know what I mean? I'm there now. You know what I'm saying? So I am trying to still shift that mindset where I can do that so I can teach it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're just kind of, being a sponge soaking in what they see that saying, hey, dad not Christmas shopping to the 20th, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start, you gotta start changing little things like that. You know what I mean? But that might be one of my top bad items at the moment. Another one that I think I have, the release of money. It's too frequent. Like, you got to hold on to that dollar, man. It's okay to keep a $50 bill on you. Just 20's a danger. Like, you know what I mean? At least at 50, you double think and go, you know what? I don't need that coffee right now from Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a 20, say, hey, I get much change back anyway. Let me get that medium, please. You know what I mean? So that's a second thing. But even with that, that's how I got to shift my mindset or tighten it up so they see it and not just me telling them something and I'm being a hypocrite about it. You know what I'm saying? So any bad traits I do have, I just don't want to be hypocritical in the things I do. And I'm going to be super hypocritical on a couple of things already, as far as like tattoos, college. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just things I didn't do, they're going to want, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But anything I do, I don't want to be a hypocrite if I do try to teach them.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. On my end, I think the first one's got to be having a short temper. You know, I would love to say I'm getting better, but I still have moments where I see red. And it's just like the words don't come out the right way. And it's just below the belt. I know they like to say Scorpios like to hit below the belt. And then when it happens, it's like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? It just comes out. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I want to get you. I want to get back at you. But after a while, it makes no sense. It didn't solve anything. And I hate the most if he's in the vicinity to either hear or see that, because then that's like the worst example that you could send to your kids. And then I would say the second one is definitely being impatient And it's even sometimes to the point where if someone is telling like a long drawn out story, after a while they'll probably see in my face that I'm like, can I get the Cliff Notes version of this?
Damn.
Because you know what I mean? Like this is just going on way too long. And I'm thinking I got the ultimate poker face, but I've been told I don't.
So I can see you during this conversation. Like you didn't turn your camera off on this Zoom. That's funny.
Yeah. You know
That's
what I'm
funny.
saying? So with that now, it's just like, all right, like I've got to set my mind knowing that sometimes I'm not going to get the Cliff Notes. I am going to get the full on novella. And I just got to practice my, oh yeah, like I gotta practice my acceptance face.
Acceptance and fake is so thin on that line, bro. It's like and I do my best not to be fake, but it's weird that whole clock in clock out thing. It's a real thing. Like I bet that short temper ain't the same when you clock in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that weird? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like watch your missus gonna put a time clock at the front door for you. You're gonna be like, no. You home. Yeah. Clock on in, buddy. So, like, check that temper at the sidewalk. You're like, damn, she got me. Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. And then like on the bad deeds front, man. I mean, I think I think for the most part, I don't think I did really anything too bad growing up. I do hope that he stays away from the liquor as long as possible, because that was never really cool. But that's the one thing I think I would want to be there definitely for his first drink. But definitely give him the most knowledge that he can about once you step into this world, you better make sure that you understand the consequences of it, what it can lead to if you don't, monitor how you do it. So I think that's the one thing I would definitely want to walk him through that part.
That's funny with as far as like alcohol is concerned, because don't get me wrong, like when there are adult functions and the kids might mingle and not mingle in that same function, but not be too far of space from said function. Yeah. They see the look at a distance, they see the shot glass getting poured, they see, they see all this, but they always see happiness. They never see like a blowout or just anger. And unfortunately, they associate this with happiness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, bad stuff. Like, it's hard to kind of tell them this is bad, but this is bad. Like, you know what I mean? There's no, because if it's bad, it's like, so why are you doing it, Dad? I don't have an answer for that. I'm not ready. Yeah. And she pulled down my, hey, another Friday. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, you was here last Friday. You know what I mean? I'm not ready. Not that I'm not ready for that conversation, but there will be a conversation to have whenever it does come up. But that's that thin line of hypocrisy that you try not to, want to tell me, hey, it's bad for you. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's rough. It's rough. She said, do you give your kids the freedom to do things that you didn't have? Made you hide it when you was growing up? Hell no. They don't get no freedom yet. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids and their freedom. This is freedom cage, baby. You can do whatever you want in this box.
I think what we try to do is guide Darius to the best outcome. How he arrives at that outcome is up to him to an extent, right? You know what I mean? It's not going to be, we're just going to go gung-ho and be like, tell us how it went after. There's some of it that he is going to need some guidance along the way, but we don't do stuff for him. And a lot of times we expose him to more than I think I was exposed to as a kid, as far as him learning the process of something. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying we're like, hey, have a shot with us. We're not doing that over here. But what we are telling him is, when you see something like this, just know that you can come talk to us. Don't think you're just going to automatically get in trouble for even saying this in our presence. We want him to feel like this is the best safe space that you can go to. And even if it's not us, we have a great network around us, which includes my brother right here, where even if he can't come to us, he knows he can go to them and say, all right, I really don't know how the parents are gonna take it, Dino,
Yeah, yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
coming to you, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I can talk to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's super positive too. Because in the event, for whatever rare topic that may be, if you feel mom and dad aren't the safe space, you hope you was able to push him into a space that is safe, where
Right.
I'll come back to you tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's definitely the goal at the end. You know what I'm saying? Just making sure they do have that
Yeah.
safe space to speak and not be scared to bring whatever it is they learned outside into the home.
Yeah. No, definitely, definitely. Um, so on the bad trait side, I mean, let's dive a little deeper into that. Do you think your bad traits were inherited or learned?
Mm. Well, I do want to say the spending money might have got inherited, but I can't blame her for that, right? She didn't make the money that I'm spending. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm throwing it on her. Fuck, I love you, mom. But oh man, but I would throw the money thing on her. I think that was something that might have been inherited if I was a little bit more financial savvy, a little younger.
Mhm.
It probably not that I need her to be there my very first check. Say, whoa, whoa, whoa! Before you go to the check cashing spot, come with me. This is called the bank. You know what I'm saying? In this bank, there's a checking and a
Yeah.
savings. You just like 50% and do this with it. You know what I mean? That wasn't there on my first summer youth job. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That shit went straight to the mall, slash food spot, slash entertainment.
Yeah.
Then I was like, damn, I need another one of those to do that again. Like, you know what I mean? It was after, you know what I mean? That first summer, the checks were fixes. Right? You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, the money thing I would say I sadly inherited because and not that I inherited it for say because I was kind of seeing what I was being taught, but I'm not sure if she had the wherewithal to teach what she kind of
Mm.
knew at that moment to hand that down into a place where I could digest it. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
I think so. For that one, I would definitely put that on inherit in a weird way.
Yeah.
But on a positive slash negative, I'm not sure which one falls in. Dad kind of removing himself from the situation early kind of put me in a place where it's like I don't want to do that. So you know what I mean? So I'm doing everything I
Mm.
can to make sure this kind of stays intact at the same time. You know what I mean? So
Right, right.
and hey, I don't think I turned out bad, but I'll also never know if this is good enough. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a weird gray area there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how about you? Do you feel any of your bad traits were inherited as you grew up, or they kind of you kind of picked them up along your way on the outside?
I would say definitely the short temper I got from my mom.
Mm,
She had very little space for understanding situations she didn't agree with. And for as much as I hated that in the moment, it was my go-to as I got older because I was just like, this doesn't make sense. And when something doesn't make sense, this is how you go about expressing yourself because that's what I know, baby. That's how it's gonna work. And I found out very quickly that's not how it works. Um, and the impatience, I would say that was learned. And I think that was learned because of just having this just deep down need to just be able to get things done and move on to the next thing. And I always talk about how having my son was the first time it was patience was at my door and was like, yeah, I'm not going nowhere. Like, you can't get rid of me. I'm right down the hall. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be playing this
mm,
music. I'm gonna be stomping up and down until you learn how to deal with being patient, taking your time with something. But yeah, impatience was learned, and definitely the short temper I would say was inherited.
mm,
Um, and I think the first time I noticed it was when I didn't make friends as fast as I wanted to, or
mm,
I didn't establish the type of friendships that I thought I should have at certain points. Was getting into a lot of fights because people were like, "Yo, bro, I just met you." You know what I mean? Like, we
mm,
shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you think this is, but you need to back the fuck off. And then once they did that, it was like, "Oh, so it's go time." You know what I mean? That's where the short temper would kick in. So that's when I
mm,
noticed that, like, I just was going about things and interpreting things completely wrong.
mm.
Um, and
Okay.
the impatience I first noticed, I want to say, when I first started going after my career goals. I just didn't have the time to really sit down and embrace the fact of where I was at in the particular craft I was going after.
Mhm.
Probably look at other avenues that I could have stayed in that craft to really build on it. It was just, to me, it was like, all right, if I do this, I should get this. Why isn't this happening? I keep doing this. So that patience really rang out at that point.
Question: did you notice if any of these traits they get transferred down? Are they starting to show in Darius?
Oh, the impatience for sure, and the short temper.
Mm,
The short temper is, it's a gray line with the short temper because he is on the autism spectrum. So I don't know how much of that is really like from me or just from him, going through his neurological experience. But definitely the impatience, because that rings true to this day. If we're on a line, if we ordered food, if the Wi-Fi ain't working at the moment, he's got something to say about every little thing, why it's not happening when it's supposed to happen. So
mm,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Or any? I don't think any of my bad traits have transferred. Shit, I do have a bad trait now that I think about my kids' version of it. The attitude slash sarcasm. It's very choppy. It's very to the point. It's very cutthroat. Unfortunately, and I understand when they do it, why they're doing it, but I hate that they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not their fault. At the same time, like I can't even yell at you for being me
They
in a
see it
younger
every
version.
day.
Like what are you doing being why are you acting like your parents? They turned around and they all turned around like me and said, nigga, what? I'll be like, you know what? we're gonna pack this up. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? They would definitely have a good basis as to why they are who they are and why they move the way they move. But that's back to the hypocrisy, man. It's tough. Like
Yeah.
as a parent, you don't want to be a hypocrite, but you are a walking hypocrite every time. You don't want to be that person. And it sucks. No one told you that in the parent pamphlet that you gotta do some shit you got to lie about. For real? Yeah. Nothing crazy. Just some things. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yep. Yeah, man. I think the sarcasm too. I know the sarcasm was learned by me. My parents were not sarcastic in the slightest. My dad was one of the most serious yet funny dudes I ever knew. My mother, she didn't know what sarcasm was. She didn't even know how to crack a joke. My mother would be serious, and that's probably why you would laugh at her, because she was being so serious in a certain situation. So I definitely learned sarcasm. Watching Darius's form of sarcasm is hilarious because a lot of the times he's dead serious. And in the beginning, we couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic.
Are these jokes?
Yeah.
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 Man.
But now I always I admit my fault when it's there. It is a bit of a tag team in the house when it comes to my wife sometimes, because she's not as quick witted as we are. So we just be letting them fly, and she'll be like coming back like in a week, like, oh yeah, remember when you said this, or like that, and we just be like, it's gone, it's too late. Yeah.
One other thing, I remember mom telling me when I was young that I would cry all the time, like constantly, like nonstop, no reason, no wherewithal, no purpose, no goal, just doing it to do it. You know what I'm saying? And my father was like, "Yeah, man, I come home and your mom would lock herself in the bathroom. You just be sitting there crying." I'm like, I'm like, damn, is that when you went for milk and never came back? No, I'm just playing. But sorry, Dad. If you see this, these are jokes, man. This is a podcast. We are potting. But now when I see my son cry, I'll be like, oh, this is why she went to the bathroom and locked the door. I'm gonna be the better parent and go to my room and lock my door. I'm not gonna go to the bathroom. I'm not gonna go to the bathroom with no entertainment. Like, I've learned from the past. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that is one thing that unfortunately I kind of saw by accident.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's an interesting journey. Love it every day. There are some moments where I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? This might be a little too much. But hey, man, that's the journey of having a kid, right?
Mhm.
So the most interesting part about this whole process is now you start to get into the realm of advice from others and
Mm.
them thinking that they can tell you how to address said
Mm.
situation. Yeah,
Mm.
you know where I'm going with that, right? Like it's like
That's a neck rubber, buddy. Oh, pause. That sounds crazy, but yeah, yeah. It's weird. Taking parenting advice from anybody outside of your parent, I look at it. Not that I'm looking at it fishy, but I'm just like, thanks. Hey, I appreciate the conversation. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I'm gonna pull whatever I could from what you gave me and implement that my version of it, my style of it. Um, but I'm not big on critique. And that's what fucks me. Like that's another bad trait. Critiquing as far as like creative control,
mm.
authority. Got a problem with that. And it's not. I don't know why. I don't know what it comes from. It's not. It's not. It's not like I'm 6'6". You know what I'm saying? A bench press a house. I'm not that dude. So it's like so. I shouldn't have this like this very argumentative kind of front. But turns out it's not a front. It's me. It's the person I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've been thinking, oh no, I'm gonna just change who I am today. Like, nah, you can't do that, nigga. Like, you're still you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, as far as advice from others, I don't take it with a grain of salt, but pending the party it's coming from, it's like none of your kids is good. Like, why are you like you know what I
Right.
mean? Like that comes to the hey, you kind of walk it like you talk it or talk like you walk, whatever the Migos said. You know what I'm saying? But if I see
Yeah.
you not in the same path or your kids is doing some wild fuck shit, it's like, bruh, you are the last nigga to be giving me kid advice. What the last time you seen you know what I mean? Like if it's little shit like that, I
Yeah.
can't. It's hard for me to accept whatever you're taking me like wholeheartedly or with confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
how are
Yeah.
you with receiving advice from others?
I definitely, I'll give you the space if I feel like we have that kind of relationship for you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you have never like had that type of space to have that conversation, um, I feel like advice in certain situations should be solicited. I think we say that a lot on this show. Be very careful just overly extending yourself to tell someone about their situation
Mm-hmm.
because they may not give a shit at that moment. They may just be venting. The other thing you want to take into consideration before you give advice, how often are you around said situation? If you only been around my kid 3 times, it's a little hard for you to start telling me about what I should do, especially at this age, right? They've been around for a
Fact.
long time. A little hard for you to come in and think you're the expert at this, right? But what you said is spot on. If there's a high percentage of traits that your kid has that I don't agree with, and a lot of things that you do to approach that I don't agree with. You, in my mind, you can't. I've already put a filter on you when it comes to kid advice. You know what I
Or
mean?
or if you had to bail your kid out, like I don't think I want. I don't think I want no parent advice from you, dog. Hey, I get it. It wasn't your fault. Hey, man, bad time, bad place, right? I get it.
Right,
But just keep the
right.
advice to yourself because
Yeah,
you got to work on you. Y'all got to work on y'all.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think the best advice you can give me at that point is what's the best bondsman to go to. But you can't tell me about, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult for me right now. Are there
yeah.
any sins of your father or even your, grandfather that you feel were referenced in your childhood? And I'll give you an example. Say someone's father was known as, sleeping around, right? Papa was Rolling Stone.
Mhm.
How did his sins impact that child's treatment or since
Mm.
his father did that, right? Like that
Okay.
can have an impact.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, like it's weird. I turned any sins that he had into my positives. Like what I was mentioning
Mm,
earlier, as far as just detaching from the family unit or the way business is handled that I would hear from my mom. I know it's a one-sided story, unfortunately. As far as your dad did that a lot. I'm like, word? Was he good at it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Was he bad at it? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was terrible at it. It's like, ooh, now I got a choice. Like, should I go make sure I'm good at this or just cut my losses short right here and be like, nah, it's not in the blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's things like that. So some things like items like that had to make choices to see if I want to pursue the goal to make sure I'm better than him at that. And there was some things where I had to just cut short, like, yeah, we weren't made to swim that fast. So I don't think me being a swimmer is really not in the cards. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much I like water, like, you gotta find another way to get to it. You know, but I'm not sure if there were any significant sins of the father or even the grandfather. Because even with staying with the family unit, like my grandfather stayed with the family unit. You know what I'm saying? He was there. And then mine detached. It wasn't the same. So in this sense, I'm following the steps of the grandfather versus mine. Because I already did more time than he did in my life with him. You know what I mean? Even with that, that's another little funny caveat because I'm not his oldest kid. So for the older kids, he was there majority of their life. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. But for the kids below me, like, he was already gone. Like, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's a weird dynamic. It's like, oh, you had dad more time than me? How'd your life turn out? Like, oh, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's great. And then if those that didn't, it's like, oh, how'd your life turn out? Oh, you're still doing good. That's dope. We all looking around like, hey, none of us needed him. But that's not the point. Like, you know what I mean? It all kind of it's levels into that, but I don't think there were any significant sins of the father directly that kind of reference my child. How about you on your side?
Yeah, no, listen, whatever my dad did, he probably paid the right people to cover that shit up because there's not much there is not much negative I've heard about my dad other than how strict he was. You know what I mean? He didn't play no shit. And then my grandfather, I mean, talk about stand-up dude from what I remember. I mean, that was the man. So between Ozell and Ozel, everything was okay. You know what I mean? I got no problems with that. So I don't think any of that really got passed on. It was really trying to carry on a lot of the things that they taught me in a way to see, you know, if my son embraces it and see how he goes about it. The one thing I will say is my father was really good at communicating, but I think that hug and that natural, like, loving nature really wasn't his strong suit. He was a military man. He was all about, you know, manly man stuff and teaching me lessons. So that one thing, I think what I did was similar to you, right? The few things that he didn't do that I felt would just probably enhance me being a father and my connection with my son, I incorporate every day. But I always tell my son about how great his grandfather was because there are a lot of things that, you know, like I'll never forget when he first came out, you know, of the womb. He looked so much like my dad. You know what I mean? And it was great. He had that old man face and everything.
Benjamin Button style.
Even though he was light skinned, it was crazy. Like,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're out here in the chat, man, if your dad was a Rolling Stone, if he was a pimp, let us know. Did that turn you into a pimp? Or you found another way that means work? Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely, man. And everybody is on their own developmental journey. Please let that be known. We are just sharing our experiences, our views. I think one of the best things that we can do as we raise our kids is be our unique selves, but also be agile and adapt to the world that they're growing up in. Because I think that would be the best way to keep a strong connection with them. And having a strong relationship with your significant other, if able, because I get that can be challenging in some question and situations too. But having the best possible healthy relationship with either your significant other or the person you had the child with, that just hopefully creates that stronger environment for them to just prepare themselves for this crazy ass world that's only going to get even more challenging as they get older. But you know, if things are not working out at this moment, it may not seem okay, but it's going to be all right, man. As long as you keep loving your heart.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Do remember episode 93 is out right now. Tolerate versus appreciate. Make sure y'all go check that out. Really good discussion with my boy here. And of course, check out the FCP shop. Like my man said, it's getting cold out here. I'm pretty sure all of y'all will look good. Your kids will look good in the FCP hoodie. You know what I mean?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the show where you are now released back into your regularly scheduled programming. Corporate life, parental life, entrepreneurship, whatever it is that you do, we salute you. I'm Senor Lee.
Catnip.
We'll see you next pay week where we lock back in to a free state of mind.
Yeah.